In the news, the Philippines and Vietnam are eyeing a 5-year rice cooperation deal that would ensure food security in the country. MJ Mondejar reports from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Haba po kami ay nasa Jakarta, ay walang tigil po ang aming pagtutok sa sitwasyon na ngayon na ating hinaharap tungkol sa bigas.
This is the issue that the president was grappling before attending the 43rd ASEAN Summit in Jakarta, the high cost of rice due to uncertain supply. Upon returning from the summit, the supply of rice was immediately on his agenda. Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and President Marcos held a bilateral meeting on the sidelines of the ASEAN Summit as both countries are close to finalizing a rice trade cooperation deal that would ensure rice imports from Vietnam for 5 years.
We look forward to having stable framework of cooperation of rice trade for a long period of at least 5 years.
In the Philippines, we have put the frontier sector as a priority in our economic planning and transformation on agriculture, especially with the interface of what we are anticipating in terms of the El Nino and the drought that it brings.
In 2008, the Philippines and Vietnam signed a memorandum of agreement to import 1.5 million metric tons of Vietnamese rice from 2008 to 2010. However, this was affected by the rice tariffication law in 2019, and rice imports from Vietnam did not materialize. Vietnam is one of the top rice-producing countries globally, with 4.84 million metric tons of rice exports from January to July of this year, valued at $2.58 billion. In the first 5 months of this year, the Philippines imported nearly 1.5 million metric tons of rice from Vietnam, accounting for almost half of Vietnam's rice exports during the period. Once the multi-year deal is finalized, the government expects rice prices in the country to stabilize. The president also had a message for the Prime Minister of Vietnam.
We hope that we can find an agreement so that there will be an exchange in terms of all of that.
In addition to the rice deal, Vietnam and the Philippines are also finalizing agreements on maritime cooperation and the both welfare of fishermen from both countries. Apart from Vietnam, President Marcos also discussed rice during a bilateral meeting with Cambodia's Prime Minister. This month, the private sector imported 2,500 metric tons of Cambodian rice into the country.
My administration will continue to ensure that our constructive engagements with ASEAN, our dialogue partners, and stakeholders serve our national interests and the well-being of the Filipino people.
President Marcos has once said that he will lift immediately the price cap in rice supply once the supply normalizes. For Ganamabulog, Philippines, MJ Mondejar, SMNI News.